Hey everybody.
Hello.
We're back. We're live here. I hope you guys got my message a little bit ago about going live. We would just wanted to, oh, well, I guess we're live now. Okay, yeah. And I'm having like a really bad hair day. So anywho,
I am too.
we just wanted to get back on here and keep in touch with you guys and let you know some of the things that are happening in the Forever Bridal world and how we're handling things here on our end and what our plans for the future are. So thanks for joining us. Give me just a second. I want to hop on my phone so that I can follow. Are we on?
I think we're on live.
Oh no, we're in our group. Okay. Yeah. I just wanted to be able to follow any questions and people as they hop on. Hey, Janine, how are you? Thanks for joining us.
And thanks for joining us the other day.
Yeah, and thanks for joining us yesterday too. So what we're going to be talking about a little bit today, and hopefully we'll get more people hopping on. So I'll just give it a little bit of time here. Is virtual events. And as the state slowly lifts restrictions and we start opening back up with limited gatherings, how does that translate for in-person events that are so popular in the wedding industry? Or I shouldn't even say popular,
all industries, really.
Yeah, but especially the wedding industry, because weddings are gatherings.
And all states seem to have different mandates, which is pretty amazing. As you know, Laura and I have relationships all over the country. We're talking to a lot of our friends, and it's very different on what everyone's either trying to do or what the state governors are allowing us to do. So it's just been a crazy ride, and as we all say, we're all in this together.
I'm really excited though that some of the retail shops are able to open back up, or some of the businesses with limited gatherings and social distancing practices. We talked a little bit about that yesterday on our Facebook page, Forever Bridal Wedding Shows, and we went live with some bridal shop owners. Janine from Gavin Christian is viewing right now, and she was one of the ones talking about some of the practices that they'll be implementing as they open their store back up. So we're trying to make plans and provisions for that as well with our bridal shows.
Well, everyone's been getting very creative. I give everyone, it's amazing the efforts I've been seeing a lot of people doing, which is really great.
Yeah, so we wanted to talk a little bit about what a virtual bridal show would look like and some of the features and benefits. Of course, this is something that we're investigating and that we're researching and working on, because we, like you, just don't know what's going to happen in the next few weeks as we go through these different phases and the level of mass gatherings that we're going to be allowed to have. So over at Forever Bridal, we are definitely keeping our options open and researching some of those opportunities now, and hoping to be able to make some concrete decisions in the coming weeks, because it's really hard to do business in limbo. So I'll let Dom kind of take it and explain a little bit of the stuff we've been researching.
Well, some of the things we're looking at would be and as far as a virtual trade show goes, obviously it'd be from the comfort of a bride's home or a groom. The couples will be able to experience a lot of different things. Actually, it's going to be a little bit of work for our vendors. It can be a lot of great work, because as you put things together, you can obviously use it for other things as well, especially website, Facebook, and things of that nature. One of the things we're going to be looking at, the overall look itself will probably look much like a mall. So as you walk into the mall with directional signs, every attendee who joins us for that event would be greeted by a virtual assistant, which will probably be her. Would pop up and just say, "Hey, welcome, thank you. Here's really, some of the things that we can do." It's really actually very well put together.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, what's the term? It's not augmented reality, but what's the
AI? Yeah, well, yeah, that one.
I mean, it wouldn't be me as a person, but it, like, you're greeted by a
it's a virtual assistant.
A virtual assistant.
But it'll look like you with your voiceover. But anyway, it'll be like a complete resource center. So basically, individual attendees will have different places and things that they can actually do. For one, obviously, we'll be able to obtain all the vendors' information. So it'll be a resource center that they can kind of go into a room and just kind of see everyone's information and be able to get everyone's email address, website, Facebook, all that kind of link stuff. The other thing will be an actual exhibit hall. And this will be kind of a neat thing, because it'll be like virtual booths. So as a vendor, this is where your work would come in. You'd actually have to set up your booth. So you can go in, pick out different templates. You be able to upload pictures, videos, actually staff it with different people, and have the brides and grooms have the opportunity to interact with you right there, which is actually kind of neat. So be go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, so when you're setting up your booth, there's different templates you can pick out. And like Dom said, your logo and other materials, videos, price sheets, any kind of documentation that you would either be handing out if you were in person, or any kind of information that you would want to be advertising in your booth space.
Right. So then there's an auditorium part of it, which is where you guys can upload webinars you're part of, or any type of educational videos, so girls can kind of sit in this area and be educated on your particular category, your services and things that you actually offer. And then there's a networking area, which I like, which is going to be the ability for them to communicate with you one-on-one. So here's where they can actually you'll probably be sitting, this might be a bad thing, but if you're obviously in this event, you sit there for 3 or 4 hours, but the idea is you can actually have people interact with you on a one-on-one. This way you can actually create appointments and generate some revenue from that.
Yeah, and you would have a chat feature where you can talk to them via the chat bot and ask questions, or they could ask questions and you could provide answers and clarification, just as you would interact in your booth.
Right, and then at the end of the day, you'll be able to have a report for who came into your area, who downloaded your price list, or whatever you have to offer, and you'll have basically generate some type of lead list for yourself afterwards, so you can follow up and do all the things that you guys normally do. So the reporting will be good, and of course, Laura and I will look into some type of gamification to make it fun. Each bride will probably have some type of swag bag or virtual briefcase or something like that, where they'll be able to corral all the information that they're actually gathering from you guys. This way, at the end of the day, they'll have the information to communicate with you, just like you'll have a report on them and who communicated with you via the trade show application. So it's going to be fun. We have a lot of ideas, but again, we're kind of like in a limbo state, because even though we're preparing, we don't know which way this is actually going to go. Again, some states are open now for business,
right?
Almost like nothing's happened,
right?
As we talked to some of our show friends, and others,
in South Carolina, they're having weddings, but Colorado shut down for the rest of the year for gatherings at their convention center. So we have
one of our show friends is actually doing a show in a different state, because they're right on the border, and for him to go 10 miles, he can actually be in another state, which changes all the laws, which is kind of amazing to me. It's a lot of effort for everyone, but obviously we'll all get through it.
Yeah, definitely. And so obviously, there's other things that we offer all the time other than our in-person shows, our social media story packages and our website listings, and those are still available to all of our vendors. But in terms of our wedding show side of things, we are definitely looking at the virtual show option, going through the price structure, what that would look like, ticket entrance for couples, so that it is creating a value for them, and qualified leads for you as the vendor, and then all the virtual components that go with it, which is pretty much just like a regular show in person, minus the big displays that you have to create and the move-in process.
Right. Well, we all know there's nothing better than face-to-face communication and having that interaction, building that rapport, and of course the everything else that comes along with that. I'm drawing a blank at the moment. It's been one of those days. So obviously, again, nothing surpasses the face-to-face interaction you do get at bridal show, but this is a good alternative when we're faced with situations like this where we don't have the ability to give you that person-to-person interaction. And I tell you, Laura and I were just out on our way here to do this live with you guys, and you would never know there was a pandemic going on. As much traffic that we just came through, and some of the drive-throughs, we sat in there for 20 minutes to get lunch today.
Well, and yeah, it's quite interesting though, because we're home and the virus is obviously a real thing, and you're thinking about, gosh, I just can't wait to get out and be normal again. And then you go out and then you walk into somewhere and everyone's like, get away, don't touch me. So, it's just presented a lot of interesting observations of what is it going to be like once we are out and about and able to have large gatherings again. We hope that everyone's going to be excited to get together, but we also realize that that may not be the case for everybody. So we're definitely looking at options for virtual shows. We're getting close on narrowing down some different platforms, and then we'll be going through the idea of structuring what that price model would look like to be able to put something like that on and together. And of course, we would be advertising it just as we do our in-person events. So everything would pretty much be on par with the business model that we currently have to put an event on, just minus the in-person part. But we definitely want to be here for you and be able to provide that show experience.
It is a lot of work
to you.
It may be fun. It may be something that we may continue afterwards.
Yeah, definitely. If it works out well, then it's something that we could add in as a feature, you know, and just another opportunity for vendors. But we know that you guys need to get in front of the brides, that we've all been killing it on social media, and that can only go so far. You need to be back out there. You need to be in front of them, and they need to be in front of you. So it's
easy to say, hard to do, but we all know we need to be advertising now. Now is the time to get your message out in front of people. The messages are pretty clear right now. People are consuming more online videos that they've ever done, really ever. You know, I was on a webinar the other day with one of the larger companies in the country, and their usage is up like over 23%. In many categories, it's up almost 40%. So these are things that we all know is happening. You know, Zoom has come out of nowhere and it's now one of the largest companies. It's like 100 million Zoom calls a day.
Hey, Tia, thanks for joining us. And my troopers, Emily and Camilla, watching too. Woohoo! All 5 of us. But yeah, so we're just talking about virtual shows, virtual events, and we're not talking about Zoom. We're talking about an virtual platform created for trade shows and events virtually, something that we are looking into and going to start working through the idea of costs and how to present it, just on, you know, keeping our options open with, as it comes down to our August show, seeing what the limitations are on large gatherings
and again,
in our community.
We'll be in good communication with the fairgrounds. Obviously, they're a state-run facility, so they will be following those guidelines, which are always set for our safety, but we'll be in good communication with them, so we'll know exactly. Once we hear something, we'll obviously let you guys know as well.
Yeah, and with the fair coming up, I can only imagine what they're thinking about with the state fair. So that's probably one of the largest sources of revenue that the state and the fairgrounds has.
It's their biggest, yes.
Yeah, so we're keeping our fingers crossed that they're going to start loosening their restrictions a little bit on those types of gatherings, and we'll be able to pull the August show off in whatever way we can. And we're also prepared for, you know, social distancing at that event. Should we have it in person, you know, space our booths a little farther apart, have all the necessary hand washing and sanitizing stations and face masks, and potentially time slots for entering into the building for brides.
Ideas on floor planning you guys will probably like.
Yeah, to keep our
hey Danny,
our attendance. Hey Danny, how are ya? But spacing things out to keep our social distancing practices in place, and one-way aisles and all kinds of unique, interesting things. So we're working hard over here. We're navigating through a lot of different options and challenges between an in-person event with restrictions and a virtual event. So we'd love to hear feedback from all of our wedding pros, and you guys let us know what some of your thoughts are. Again, our goal here is to just connect you with the brides and the brides with you, to get those connections happening again. Marketing and advertising is something that we all need to continue to be doing right now, despite the challenges it is for doing anything to get income right now. So we're here for you, we're here with you, and we're doing everything on our end to make sure that we keep those connections going. So
absolutely.
We'll keep posting here. We'd love for you all to comment as well, or send us a private message, reach out, you know, to us on our cell phones. I think we're pretty transparent with all of our vendors, and establish those friendly connections with you guys to be able to reach out to us.
Absolutely.
So if you're not watching it live and you're just going to tune in, be sure to comment and let us know some of your thoughts on in-person events with social distancing restrictions and virtual events as well. So
as Laura mentioned, if you guys have any ideas, want to share with us your comments about how you vision either a virtual show going or the in-person show going, just let us know.
There's definitely a lot of features and benefits that go into that. And one thing I think about is, uploading materials and logos and setting up a virtual booth is probably a heck of a lot easier than moving in and building some ginormous structure that I see a lot of you guys doing, packing up your car, driving down there, forgetting everything, needing tape and scissors and fishing line.
That is a lot
and
of fun for them. It's like a reunion for
Well, I'm
everybody.
trying to make something positive here. You get what I'm going for. So we obviously we want to be in person and see everybody. That's what we do. That's the nature of our business. So of course we would miss that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to just,
Have fun.
make something positive here. So lots of things that we can talk about. Just give us a shout out, comment here, and let us know what you guys are thinking about how we can all start getting together again in the future.
And we look forward to seeing everybody very soon.
Yeah, so thanks again for joining us. I know it's just been a quick little rundown on what's coming up, but
we just want to keep the message out and clear to you guys. And as we know more information, we'll be sure to jump on lives and let you guys know as well.
Yeah, and if you know of any other wedding pros that are part of the Forever Bridal shows that might benefit from being a member of this group, we try to encourage everyone to follow in this group to keep up to date. But of course, occasionally somebody doesn't get that notification. So please be sure to share with any professionals that you know, and that way we can all stay informed.
Sounds great.
So, awesome. Well, you guys have a good afternoon.
Thanks
for joining us, and we'll be back next time.
You guys have a great
Bye.
day. Bye-bye.